counsel.
Ma'am, can you please state your name and spell both your first and last name?
Sure. Diana Free, Diana Free.
And how are you employed right now?
I am retired.
And what did you do before you were retired?
I was a cook.
And where do you reside?
I reside in Juneau, Wisconsin.
And how long have you lived in Juneau, Wisconsin?
Juneau, we've been here for 15 years. Prior to that, we lived in Reeseville for 18 years.
How long have you lived in Dodge County?
Probably close to 40 years.
At some point while you resided in Dodge County, did you meet Crystal? At that time would have been Crystal Free, correct?
Yes, I did.
And when did you meet Crystal?
That would be in 1992.
Okay, and I'm going to show you Exhibit 3. Can you tell me what Exhibit 3 is?
It's a picture of Crystal.
And is that a picture of Crystal shortly before she disappeared?
Yes.
And I move Exhibit 3 into evidence and permission to publish it to the jury.
No objection, Your Honor. Received.
So you said you met Crystal back in 1992. So how old was she then?
She was 5 years old.
And how did you come to meet Crystal?
She moved into the mobile home park in Reeseville next door to friends, a friend that I had, and I met her father, and we became friends and started dating, and we married in 1997, and we are still together.
And what is her father's name?
Her father's name is Dale Free, Dalefree.
And does she have any siblings?
Yes, she has a sister, April Lacoste, and a brother, Christopher Free.
And do you know how to spell April's last name?
Lacosse.
And are April and Chris local, or do they live somewhere else?
No, they live up in Michigan.
Okay.
April lives in Rapid River, Michigan, and Christopher lives in Escanaba.
So in 1997, after you got married, did Crystal reside with you and Dale full-time or something else?
Yes. There was a 1 year period of time, I don't remember exactly what year, but after we were married, where she went to live with her mother in Texas, but then she came back home and she stayed with us from that point on.
So what is your relationship to Crystal?
I was her stepmom. I was mom.
So basically, was Crystal a lifelong resident of Dodge County?
Yes.
And where did Crystal go to school?
Crystal went to school at Dodgeland.
Okay, and do you know if she graduated from Dodgeland?
She did graduate from Dodgeland. It was a bit challenging for her. Crystal had some learning disabilities, which made classes challenging for her, but she persevered and graduated with her class, I believe, in 2006.
And did Crystal ever hold a full-time job?
No.
How did Crystal support herself?
Well, we supported Crystal until she moved out of the house, and then she had applied for Social Security, I believe.
Okay, so at some point, did Crystal get married to someone?
She married Zach
And what is Zach's last name?
Rasch.
And Mr. Rasch, is he in the courtroom?
Yes, he is, in the white shirt.
And you pointed in the direction just of the council table. You said white shirt. Nose.
Correct, the white shirt with the tie, bald man.
Thank you. And do you know, maybe not the exact year, but approximately how long ago they got married?
I believe it was around 2016. I actually wasn't very happy about the arrangement.
So I want to go back to Crystal's. So she received Social Security at some point, correct?
Correct.
And was she living independently? Did she have a budget?
Yes, Crystal was very frugal when it came to her money. Her bills were paid, and she squirreled money away like a squirrel. I mean, she just saved every penny. She was a very frequent Goodwill, thrift store, garage sale shopper. She often got food from the food pantry to subsidize her needs.
Did she have a driver's license?
Yes, she did. And a vehicle, and she owned a car.
Okay. And where, in 2024, where was Crystal residing?
In Kleiman, Wisconsin.
In the village or township or?
In the town. In town.
Do you know what street she lived on?
I can't remember the
That's
name.
fine.
Of this. I'm sorry.
I
I think it was just Main Street.
Okay.
I believe it was just Main Street.
Prior to getting married to Zach, did you see Crystal regularly?
Periodically, we saw Crystal. She entered that I am 18 and you can't tell me what to do stage. So we still had contact with her, but she was hell-bent to show us she could take care of herself in the same premise. So we always had contact with Crystal, but it wasn't necessarily daily.
And how, at some point, did her and Zach have children?
Yes, they did.
And how many children did her and Zach have together?
She and Zach had 4 children.
And then did she have any other children?
Yes, she had 1 child prior to meeting Zach.
So prior to around 26,
Yes.
16.
Yeah.
And then at some point prior to 2024, had you been seeing Crystal less?
We did go through a period of time where we were basically estranged. A series of incidents occurred that we didn't necessarily agree with Crystal's choices on, and some incidents started occurring at our home that we were correlating with these other incidents. And so we told Crystal that until she got her priorities straight, that we needed to maybe take a step back.
So sometime in late 2023, did you
Yes.
sort of reunite with Crystal?
Yes, we reunited as a family in November of 2023, and Crystal came for Christmas along with her siblings and aunts and uncles and grandparents, and I have a large gathering for Christmas every year, and Crystal was there.
Did you learn anything about the state of her marriage during that Christmas gathering?
Yes, that she had filed for divorce from Zach, and she was excited to move on with her life without him in it.
And where was she residing then at the end of 2023?
In 2023, she was residing at her home in Kleiman.
Previous to that, was that the marital home?
Yes.
Okay. Did at some point did you become aware that she was planning on moving out of that house?
Yes, we discussed that with her. Again, with Crystal's learning disabilities, sometimes she didn't quite understand things. So she was under the impression that she would get to keep her home after the divorce. And we had to talk with her, and we actually, explained to her how Wisconsin divorce law is, and that the house would have to be sold, or she would have to pay Zach out for the home if she wanted to keep it. And then we also instructed her to talk with her lawyer about that, so he could, help her understand that this is what was going to happen, what would happen.
And then did you help her navigate finding some other housing situation?
I helped her in that I told her because of her disabilities and that she should go to Dodge County, and that there were people there that could help her find subsidized housing or something to that effect, disabled housing. And she did that.
And was it your understanding that she was going to move into subsidized housing?
Yes, she actually went and saw them and filled out all of her paperwork, and they had her set up to move into an apartment in a subsidized apartment in Lowell, Wisconsin.
And do you know what date she was scheduled to move into that property?
July 1st, 2024.
And were you and her father, Dale, helping her at all to move her belongings?
Yes, we were. She actually procured a storage locker at the Moose Lockers at 26 and 33. When they legally separated, Zachariah was ordered to remove his property from the home, and he never did. So she had concerns because all of his things were there. And so we told her if it would make it easier for her, she should procure this locker, move just her belongings into that locker, and leave everything of Zach's in the house. And then we would move her then from the storage locker to her new apartment.
With respect to the house, did you ever do anything with her to help her understand sort of the ownership and who is on the title of the house?
Yes, towards the end of, beginning of May, I believe it was, and end of March, beginning of May, Mary Rasch hired an attorney in an attempt to throw Crystal out of the house, claiming that she was the owner of the home.
Objection, Your Honor. Move to strike, lacking foundation
So
and relevance.
I'll rephrase the question.
Okay.
Motion's granted, it's stricken.
And I'll ask a more directed question. Did you take Crystal to a title company to help?
Yes.
And was Crystal the only person on the title for the home?
Yes.
Was there a co-signer on the loan for the home?
There was a co-signer on the loan.
And who was that person?
Mary Rasch. Mary and Scott Rasch.
So now moving forward to June, so that, and I'm sorry, you went to that title
Would have been in May.
of 2024, correct?
Yes.
And this is before or after she learned about the low-income housing?
Right about the same time. It would be like a week or so prior. It all was kind of, first we proved to her that the home was titled to her. And then we worked on that the house would have to be sold, and instructed her to speak to her attorney. And then she went, and after she spoke to her attorney and, just double check that what we were telling her were facts, then she came and talked to us about finding housing. And we sent her to, told her to go and see Dodge County so they could help her find the subsidized housing she would need.
Are you aware of any steps that had been taken to put the Kleiman Main Street home on the market to be sold?
It was not yet listed on the market, but she knew that it would have to be, but she was going to move out of the home first.
Okay. And at the time that this was happening, was there anybody else residing in the home with her?
Yes, her natural mother, Brenda Acosta.
Do you know how to spell her last name?
Acosta.
Okay. So now I want to sort of fast forward to June of 2024, and I'm going to show you, if we can, Exhibit 1. I'm not sure, did I leave it up there with? I just have 2 up here.
I just have the picture.
It's up on the screen too, but there's a paper copy for you. So in June of 2024, did you see Crystal at all?
Yes, I did.
And when did you see, when was the last time you saw her about, if you can remember?
On Thursday, June 6th.
Okay. And what was the nature of your interaction? Why did you see her that day, if you can remember?
She came to the house. She just stopped in, which she was doing quite often during that time. She would stop to pick up boxes from us, or, if she had any questions, or she would just stop in and let us know what was going on in her world. She was in the process of packing, and she had talked with us about perhaps going up to visit her sister and brother up in Michigan, and we just we didn't want to tell Crystal what to do, so we just had a conversation of, do you think you have time to do all these different things? Because she had spoke about camping. She had talked about going up to visit April, packing that she had to finish. And we just found with working with her and talking with her that it was easier to let her make her own choice, and just said, do you think you have enough time to get all those things done? And she thought for a second, and she said, well, yeah, I probably don't have time to go and see April, because when she would go up there, she could stay longer. She didn't have, if she thought she was going for 2 days, she could stay for 5.
Got it.
And I just didn't want her to run short of time to finish her packing and stuff.
What was her demeanor like?
She was so happy. Dale and I actually talked after she left, because prior to that, from Christmas until that day, she was scared. She was concerned. Her demeanor was just she was very anxious. She was always looking over her shoulder and jumpy, and
But on June,
That particular day, she came and she was just excited. She was excited for the divorce. She was excited for the move. She was excited to start her life over again and be the one who's in control of her life. And it made us happy. It made us very happy to see her like that because she had been distraught for so long before that.
and so after June 6th, did you and Dale go somewhere?
We left for our property on June 14th. We did talk with Crystal when she was there. Part of the reason she stopped was to ask if we would be home for Father's Day so that she could come and bring Dad his stuff. And we told her that we were leaving on Friday the 14th and we would be gone until the 23rd. But as always, we have our phones. If you need to reach us, just call. And, you know, we could be outside, but I would come in the house and check my phone several times if I was outside doing other things.
So between the 6th and the 14th, you had no contact with her, right?
No.
And was that necessarily unusual?
No. And especially given the laundry list of things that she wanted to get done with, you know, she was talking, spoke about going camping with a friend the weekend of the 8th.
Okay. So then did you return from your trip to your property on the 23rd?
We returned from there on the 23rd, yes.
And without going too much into what other people said, when you returned on the 23rd, did you have concern about Crystal's whereabouts?
Well, actually, we got a phone call from Crystal's sister April on the 20th.
Okay.
Asking if we had spoken with her. And I said that no, we had not, but I explained all the things to April that Crystal, you know, had on her plate so that we weren't overly concerned because, again, we didn't speak every day. It may be a couple days a week in between. It depends on what she had cooking. And April made a comment that she hadn't talked to Crystal since the 11th, and that a friend hadn't talked to her. She said her friend from Waupun. I did not know who this person was. And so I just instructed her to keep trying to get a hold of her and that we would try and get a hold of her. And we would be returning on the 23rd. We had our father-in-law along with us on that trip. So we dropped him off in Watertown, where he resides. And then we came back into Kleiman and stopped at her house. I stayed in the car. I do not have a great relationship with Brenda, and it just keeps it easier if I just stay out. So Dale went in the house and spoke with Brenda, and she told him...
Objection here.
Nope, sorry. And he went in the house and spoke with her. Then he came outside of the house and looked into the garage, and Crystal's vehicle was in the garage. And then he got in the car and he told me what Brenda had told him, and we went home to Juneau. When we got home, I called April and I said, "Have you got a hold of her yet?" And she said no. And again, she repeated that, you know, not even her friend from Waupun has talked to her. And I just asked, "Who is this friend? I don't know who you're talking about." And then she said, "Robin." And as soon as she said that name, my heart fell into my stomach because I knew something was wrong. Because I knew she talked to Robin every day.
And so what did you do next then?
So I hung up on April, I'm like, I gotta go. I gotta call the police. Something is very, very wrong. And I called 911, and I spoke to the gal who answered the phone, and I explained the situation, and hung up with her. And shortly thereafter, I got a phone call from an officer, and I explained the situation to him, and gave him, the information of people and such, and he went to do his investigation, and he called later on that night and said that he didn't feel he could put her down as a missing person due to statements that were made by Brenda and by Zach Rasch. And I pretty much flipped out on the officer, because there were just many reasons. There were many instances of things to cause me concern, and I impressed on him that I needed him to do his due diligence and check records and things, and because I couldn't accept that he couldn't even put her down as a missing person. And then the phone call ended with him, and I pretty much had most of a sleepless night. And early in the morning, I believe somewhere around 7 a.m., I received a phone call from him, again, saying that he had done his due diligence, and that the things that he discovered were basically above his pay grade, and that everything, he had spoken to his sergeant. He called his sergeant, he told me at like 4 in the morning, and they decided to turn it all over to the detectives, and that a detective would be contacting us after that point.
Okay. And then detectives did contact you?
Yes, and then
correct?
detectives contacted us later that morning.
I don't have anything else for direct.
Cross.
Thank you, Your Honor. One moment.